I'm Jenna Armstrong. I've been in the Air Force about 14 years. I'm a broadcaster, which means I document and share with others what the Air Force as a whole does. But even after 14 years, I had little idea of what Air Force bands were for. So I followed them around, and what I found out was actually pretty interesting.
Check.
Although the bands sit literally center stage, most of what they do is behind the scenes. It's smart, it's delicate, it's diplomacy at its finest. This band came up from Colorado Springs to Mount Rushmore to do a 4th of July performance. Free to the public. It's just about as American as you can get, listening to a military band playing under the stars of one of the most iconic national monuments. Their current performances in the U.S. are driven as a direct response to the outreach and engagement plan from the Secretary of Defense, who wants to connect our military to the American public. Most people don't live near a military base, so the bands travel to the people, giving more an opportunity to interact with airmen. They have other missions too, like honoring service members at ceremonies and funerals. But their role gets really interesting when military leaders use them to connect with the public. Kirtland Air Force Base has one of the largest special operations training facilities in the U.S. What they do is crucial to the success of wartime operations. But loud aircraft and regular nighttime missions make for a public relations nightmare. Base leaders use the Air Force Band to bring understanding of the mission and mend relationships within the community.
They were able to go out very discreetly and take our issues and our talking points and they wove them into their performance. What was taking months of hit or miss negotiations and people not wanting to talk, the Air Force Band provided the venue that broke down those barriers, started the conversation, and we've been able to make progress that we weren't able to make for years.
This amazing ability the band has is even more impressive when you see how they communicate with other cultures. Air Force Band members stationed overseas travel constantly, performing all over Europe, Africa, and the Pacific. This trip takes them to Singapore.
The younger generation in Singapore doesn't remember the Vietnam War. They certainly don't remember World War II. And so the context of the U.S. presence in this region is different than, say, how their parents and their grandparents would have seen it. We constantly have to regenerate those relationships with the generation that will be influencing the next 20, 30 years of not only Singapore's history, but also regionally.
Singapore isn't the only place we went. We met up with an Air Force band stationed in Germany. Here they are, playing for a local German audience the night before flying off to Africa. Another place the U.S. is focusing its attention on.
In many countries in the world, the last thing that a citizen would want to do is to have contact with their own military or their own police. For those who have been taught to have suspicions about the U.S., for them to see an American military band embracing Mauritanians and embracing Mauritanian culture and celebrating how our two peoples are working together for the benefit of both, that is a very powerful message.
What I saw on my trip was fascinating. A very small group of people going into a country and making a big difference. The commander from the band in Germany said it best, so I'll let him add the closing words.
What we're able to do is go into a community and bring a group of people together from disparate financial statuses, disparate ages, disparate backgrounds, and they all come together at our concert, and they're unified by what's happening on stage. They're all sharing the same experience, and then on top of that, we're giving a message of thank you, we're giving a message of reassurance. It's face-to-face friendship building that'll last lifetimes.